Welcome back to A Industries. I've been going through a difficult time making a decision recently. Let me go over that with you. I was in my alpine retreat and must have been looking out of the window for what seemed like hours. The news of the alliance between the DKRNK and the Penguin Auto Empire was terrible. However I ran the numbers, that came down to at best 2-on-1 against me. Even if they focused on the tape before they turned their attention my way, I couldn't see how that would be any more in my favor than if they just focused on me first. Aligning with the tape was something I'd previously been trying to avoid due to the likelihood of them dragging me into a war. Currently, though, I was avoiding an alliance with them because of reports on an attack on the Kermitsov. I didn't see much of a friend in them. Now, though, none of that mattered. I didn't see any other way to ensure a one-on-one engagement other than to make sure that Tape was engaged with someone else. Who knows? I could be wrong to distrust them. I was wrong about their aggressiveness. If anything, I've been more combative, and I'm a pacifist. I gave the order to my secretary to get the leader of the Tape on the line. When they screwed up, I just did it myself.
Hello, this is the leader of the Territorial Arctic Protection Entente.
Excellent. This is the CEO of A Industries. I'm just ringing about an unusual report we've got from the KSS Kermitsov. It's written in crayon and it just says, tape plane bang bang. We're not totally sure what this means, but we do have radar information suggesting that one of the Territorial Arctic Protection Entente planes entered our airspace very recently. Do you know anything about this? I'm just trying to get this closed off on our files.
Well, that's probably something to do with my missing plane. I had a Empav Raptor stolen from Seaven Inlet, and I doubt you would attack yourself, and me and Twitchi can't fight at this point, so I'm inclined to believe that it's Penguin who stole my plane.
Penguin.
Indeed.
Penguin has been a thorn in my side ever since I've made a non-aggression pact with him.
Yeah. And he has a history of thieving.
He does indeed. He's currently made an alliance with Twitchi.
Indeed.
I understand you're currently in the same position I am with Penguin, except with Twitchi, you can't attack Twitchi's bases.
Yes, yeah, that's correct.
So their alliance has proved quite effective at stopping us from doing anything useful.
Pretty much.
What I suggest is we combine our resources and form our own alliance. This stolen plane, whether or not it came from Twitchi in some kind of covert operation or Penguin, as you believe, and it's probably accurate, it did definitely come from their alliance. The only option that I can see is that we join together and launch attacks against the enemies that we can't face directly. So I'll face Twitchi for you, you face Bearded Penguin for me.
That sounds reasonable.
Alright, so if we're going to form an alliance, it's sort of standard A Industries protocol to form this on something. So what we'll do is I suggest we go to a base sharing protocol where I will defend the Lodney Isles for you, and you shift some base defenses to Bitsandy and defend that for me. And we can both launch from each other's sites.
Well, that makes sense.
Alright, well then that sounds like the start of a beautiful arrangement.
It does indeed.
Thanks very much for your time, Mr. Leader of the Tape.
Thank you very much, Mr. CEO of Vagonarch Industries.
Speak to you later.
Speak to you later, too.
I was far from sure whether or not I trusted him, but I told him what he wanted to hear, whether I believed it or not. I couldn't see any other valid way forward with that alliance in place, so there didn't seem to be any reason to push a point or make trouble. It can be investigated properly later. We drew up the contracts, a 5-turn initial trial alliance, and 2 shared bases with which we could both launch from, Bitsandy and the Lodney Isles. Tape launched an impressive misinformation campaign to throw Twitchi and Beardy off the scent, actually launching base defenses at Bitsandy rather than Lodney, buying me the time I needed to launch an aggressive first strike at the DKRNK. If you're going to war, you might as well do it properly. Are you listening to me, Porkins? I feel like I'm talking to myself. Well, without further ado, let's get on with the turn. What you see here is the new A Industries flagship, the Silverfish. The Silverfish is a destroyer. It's moderately well armed, nothing too extravagant. It's got a main artillery battery, though only one, a single goalkeeper turret for anti-missiles, a couple of lasers for more anti-missiles, and a couple of flat cannons for anti-planes, more anti-missiles, and potentially shooting things that are on the ground. What I'll do is I will just demonstrate to you how it goes. You have to go quite slowly onto the water, as you can see there, because if you don't, you risk catching your nose on things, and that's a horrible, horrible result when it's wing surfaces right at the front there, and water. Although anything, trying to decelerate something this heavy from the front like that, it's just not a great idea at all. You'll notice it's really back heavy there. That's just because there's a ton of fuel in the back, and when I say ton, I mean lots of tons. You guys had better appreciate this. You'll notice that I'm on the 3 times time acceleration. 4 times often causes it to rip itself apart in testing, so I didn't want to risk it. But even with 3 times, it's almost real time for me, so 1 second passes in the game for every second of physics calculation. So this whole trip took over an hour. Like the game time you see there is the actual game time that it cost me for the most part. I do a big time skip. So I'll shift the fuel around here just to balance it a little better, and deploy my anchors. Now, the biggest problem I find with these repulsors is slowing down is very difficult. I tried retro thrusters and that works well, but it means carrying around an extra set of engines, and this seems to work a lot better. What you'll see, perhaps, is in the top left, I'd forgotten to turn off the time accelerate. This drag technique doesn't work well at max speed like that. And I also hadn't noticed that it makes a big difference if the gear are deployed versus not. So I pull out the undercarriage, and that fixes it. Once I work out what's going on. You see me bobbing it up and down there. There we go, and you'll notice that I'm dragging a lot heavier now. The speed's coming down quite quickly. And I lower myself into the water, and this time I sink and float. Sometimes I sink and float, sometimes I hit that little white panel underneath and rest on that. The white panel is put there by Kerbal Foundries. Now, thank God for this save happening. You see that autosave? Could not have been better timed. It's the first time I'd been sitting still. The autosave won't trigger unless you're sitting still, so that whole, whatever that was, 40 minutes or something that took me to fly out there, I did not want to have to redo that. Those white panels that you see underneath me, they're a bug. They shouldn't be visible in Kerbal Foundries. So I'll have to find out why that is. So I'm taking attacks of opportunities at these 2 bases as I go. Now you'll notice I staggered the second launch of missiles and then picked the last missile to follow. The reason for that is those white things, like you see back under the ship behind us, there, from the Kerbal Foundries thing, because we launched off those repulsors, Kerbal Foundries gets confused and occasionally will spawn them underneath the missiles. And the missiles, just like the repulsors, can hit them. So by picking the back one, I'm hoping that if it pops one up and the missile crashes into it, only the missile at the back will get hit. So I just need to change to a different missile. There we go. So this is the new back, because apparently the last one I launched was taken off ahead quite fast. So we're in real time here. So you saw how sort of laggy it was just a minute ago. That's without any acceleration. So I figure an attack deserves real time. There's one of those things. You see that? Nightmare. Alright. Yeah, that's dropping out of range. This is coming into range. So you've got various options for the load distance on BD Armory. It has the little config thing where you can turn it up so that you can fire missiles at this. Oh, Jesus. You can fire missiles at this kind of range and not have to follow them, but I like to follow them and watch what they do. So I'm just getting close enough now that I'm trying to switch to the turtle so that those white things don't spawn underneath my missiles. But I'm gonna miss the attack, so I'll just watch. Oh, Jesus. Oh well, there's not gonna be one for a while now, so those should hit. Let's see it from the side. I got the first one. Direct hit with the second one. Now, in my testing, these turtle things have been very effective at stopping cruise missiles. They're one of the better base defenses that I've tested against in simulations, obviously. They seem more reliable than a single goalkeeper, having those multiple little turrets that they have. What was that? Crash into it. See, one of those things. So how many of these do we have left? We have 2 left. One hit the hill. The other one hit the hill. Okay, well, you get off lightly, my friend. You're on an angle that I can't hit you from, so there's no much point in launching a second attack. They're only attacks of opportunity, so switch back to the silverfish. Alright, time sped up again. Put these away, close up the roof, and let's set this target of the Spartrons. Now, you might be wondering, Twitchi? You're attacking Twitchi? Why not tape? Well, I see it like this. There's currently an alliance between Penguin and Twitchi. Twitchi is currently on a non-aggression pact for a few turns with tape, and allied with Penguin. So there is one person who he can attack, and his turn comes up next. So I could attack tape, but then the odds of Twitchi coming in from the side are just way too high for my liking. That's the main reason I didn't have much choice on picking my alliance here. Still, it's done now. I've launched my attack on Twitchi, and I'm sure it'll be met with retaliatory strikes, but hopefully I can hit him hard enough that he will consider taking the defense strategy. I have more bases than he has, so if he starts going base for base attacks rather than reinforcing, I should win. So with Penguin not able to join in and tape on my side now, that puts me in a good position. I feel anyway. Alright, using the anger here to slow down again. Yeah, you see there, it's yeah. And I'm not sure if that's actually catching on that in supposedly invisible white plate. I'm guessing something happened with the texture compression on the white plate. It's probably supposed to be a PNG, which has transparency, and it's a JPEG somehow, or something like that. That happens sometimes with Kerbal Space Program mods. So I'll probably just need to reinstall Kerbal Foundries, and that should fix it. So first off, the Spartrons. I want the backup missiles if my strike doesn't hit. So I've saved most of the missiles for this. Let's see how it goes. Same thing. A few pairs. And one at the back. So that if those white things spawn, hopefully it won't hit anything else. Once again, we're in real time, because I believe in real time for base assaults, so you guys can watch my lag, enjoy it the same way I enjoyed it. Great fun. I'm going to try and get a better camera angle, seeing as this is the legendary KSP. KSC, Kerbal Space Center, and it is the big one, the heart of the DKRNK. This is not working well. I'm trying to manually move, and it's too much. Give up. Too much to be doing all at once. Oh, white thing. Nothing's gonna hit it, that's good. Now, in my testing, that never used to happen when I launched from the Moth. Okay, here goes. First hit dead, second hit direct hit, third hit direct hit, and I think I took down the VAV, fourth hit, yeah, excellent. So I only lost one missile on that white thing. Thankfully. Has there ever been a more beautiful sight? That, my friends, assuming the Spartrons are actually disabled, that is the sight of victory. Alright, back to the Silverfish. Well, we've got a few missiles left. So this seems like a good opportunity to hit another base, because at the moment I've hit one base on the way over, but he probably doesn't care about that. If I can hit this other base, I still have, 4 missiles left. So if I can hit KSC Island as well, I'm not sure about that, that's concerning. But if I can hit the KSC Island as well, then he has a choice between defending one or both, or neither, and if he chooses to just defend one or the other, manages to retake the space center and chooses to defend that, then chooses not to capture the island perhaps, then I can just stroll in, capture the island, and launch big attacks on the space center. I love watching these fly. I'm not sure if it's worth the whole bunch of hours it took to take this ship over here to carry this many of these rockets. Needed quite a big ship. I suppose I could have made it a much smaller ship that mainly just carried missiles, but where's the fun in that? I quite like the I quite like the Silverfish flagship. It's good the way it is. Originally, the earlier versions had mainly wing surfaces on the front. You'll notice that it's got mainly metal on the front right now. The wing surfaces, I couldn't quite get them sealed. Like they, I'm sure in fire it would work, but jeez. In the standard aero, it just meant that it would catch the wind on funny angles and try and whip the nose around. So now it's stopped. Again, my tests on attacking this haven't been very successful because of that mountain being in the way, that little ridge. So let's see how it goes. The first missile dead, second dead, third hit the thing, fourth was a hit. Holy crap. So only one hit the hill. I must just be in the perfect position. I've never had that kind of luck when firing. I guess I am further out to sea than I usually am when I've been messing with this. Let's have a look. Oh, I see. Okay, so I switched to the turtle when the missiles died, and then it fell down and died on impact. So it's gone. It's gone properly. That's great news. Right, how do I do this? Okay, back to the silverfish. Alright, not expecting there to be much left of the KSC, so we'll switch back to speed up. Put everything away. Now you might have noticed to the crew by now, there's one very suspicious, highly conspicuous John B. Kerman sitting in the bridge there. He was found just floating around the pilot's lounge. I mean, everyone's available, you know, everyone's welcome to enter the pilot's lounges of any nations. I mean, there's no rules against it, but I offered him the opportunity to go along on this ride and get a look at the flagship. Yeah, I totally didn't just forget to take him out. Forget that he was in the options there. Just firing some shells at the buildings, things. We're out of range, so can't use guns on the Spartrons or the flag. Maybe the flag. Yeah, maybe the flag. That's probably fine. I mean, it can't shoot back. Now, that's handling has got a little funny. You might notice these big spread things at the back. That's the reason I have them. When this ship is light, you can just engage the brakes, release those 4 side bits, the 2 big main brakes on top and the 2 small side ones at the back, and leave the other 6 just splayed like that, and it'll act like a dart, which is part of how it got its name, the silverfish. I mean, all these pointy bits on it, all over it. It looks like those horrible things. That's that white square in use in its intended purpose. If you're annoyed by how long it's taking, take comfort in the fact that it took a lot longer for me. And I even do a jump coming out of the water, which is a bit nerve-wracking, but I did a lot of testing with this thing in advance of actually using it. Okay, that's good. So that front pusher just keeps me from nosing onto the ground too hard most of the time. Does a pretty good job. So you can see I've slowed down. Just want to see if that Spartron is going to shoot at me, so I can shoot it now because it's in range. flak shells are just exploding harmlessly on that building. I wonder if I can knock it down. Maybe the main battery can shoot over there. Maybe it can blow up that building. Anyway, let's reload and take another shot. Yeah, I'm not having much luck with that. What about the flag? Swing the main turret around. Ooh, awkward. Well, it looks like there is space there for it to happen. Nah, I think I'll just go there properly. Let's deal with this Spartron thing. Where is that? Awkwardly aiming at me. I hope it's dead. Alright, we'll just push in the right hand side thrusters. We've got some move that. We've got some Werner engines just for killing lateral movement and things. Again, the stopping is a difficult prospect in these vehicles. I'm going a little fast still. I know it's only 10 meters a second, but that's still fast enough to crush me to pieces if I was to bang into something at this speed. Still not shooting at me, which is kind of what I was expecting. I mean, I got my armoured prow there to keep me, but I'm not really slowing down either. That's a bit of a worry. No, I don't know. No, nothing seems to be of any use. Just blast it a bit. Can I hit that? Oh, that's interesting to note. The way I've got those Orrigin Millennium cannons leveled out means that they can't shoot down. Anything below their waterline, they can't hit. I'll have to look at an adjustment of the design for that. Alright. Can't hit crap with these damned... Oh, crap. Okay, so what happened there is I left the anchors out and they pushed my nose into the ground. Okay. We'll have a look at the damage in a sec. Let's get rid of that. And, park up. Right, that's good. And lower it down. There we are. Put the brakes away. We've lost our ore, I noticed in the results, so we must have lost half of the ore processing equipment out of the front. Let's just turn it around actually and have it face the airfield he's most likely to come from. Just give the turrets less time to have to turn. And I am sliding sideways quite hard. See if I can fix that with the lateral thrust. I'm out of oxidizer, so anchors it is. Okay, lower. Excellent. Well, let's put everything away and get Zombie to show you around. The DKRNK personnel who are retreating can just take Zombie with oof. He survived, which is good. I turned up the game speed there briefly and then decided against it. Decided I would just boost the speed in post. Now it's just slightly too far to fall safely here, so I use an age-old technique of hit everything you can on the way down. It's tried and true on Kerbal. And Zombie can do the honors of planting the flag for me. Thanks, buddy. we go. So let me show you around my cribs. Alright, so first off, here we are in the nuclear reactor room. Over here we have the main drill array and the elevator that he should have used to come down here. We have the missile bay, and we have the ore processing, and the storage is what got knocked off the bottom. So can you open that up for us there, Valbella? And there's a great propaganda shot angle. Well, KSP is ours. Now, on to our second launch, the Wolf Spider. Launching at Lodney Isles. Its job for the moment is simply to get set up and protect the area from Penguin. That's part of the deal we have with tape. If things should go awry with tape, it won't hurt to have a carrier up the north here, but let's not mention that just yet from our trusted ally. This was actually the earlier design of the two ships. The Silverfish was my second of the land ship fleet. But you'll notice it's only got a single anchor on the back. That's one of the things I'm thinking about changing, but the Wolf Spider doesn't have quite so much thickness to it, so it's harder to place those things. And honestly, one is okay. So I'm just swinging it around to park it over here, and just watch the front there. I did a lot less testing on this than I did with Silverfish. It flies a great deal better, the Wolf Spider. Handles quite nicely in comparison. Alright, so here looks good. Let's just sit down on the ground. Still floating a bit. I've forgotten to lower those repulsors. Let's just drop them down. There we go. And whilst we're at it, set the guard mode and begin mining operations. Might as well do that, I guess, whilst we're here. Turn some profits. That's what we're here for. Secondary use, but hey, we're on the mineral-rich Lodney Isles. We might as well take advantage of it. Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.